Welcome, Robert, and thank you so much for being here today. So happy to have you. When state and federal regs come down, like carbon reduction goals have come down on the cold chain transportation industry, I call this a grudge sale. And I know that you and your brother and co-founder, Dr. Ron Kelsch, went into this over a decade ago with a breakthrough approach in creating an undeniably viable zero emissions TRU power system that creates a win for all the stakeholders involved. So many years later, do you think you and Ron have achieved your goal?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a long ride, Erica, but it's really about what the customer needs and wants. And the customers over this last decade, what we've realized is they want a planned approach with a solid partner that has done a lot of past testing and can prove everything they're stating. And so the daily torture that these units experience really has the end user, the customer, panicked about a new technology coming into their realm. So the amount of testing and the millions of deliveries that we've made, we've really been able to fine tune the product into what customers have every day.
That's fantastic. I see from your website that you're serving some of the largest cold chain transportation customers in the country. What's it been like on that journey of breaking so many decades of old technology, established habits and relationships, and winning them over to being on Team AEM?
Well, it's interesting because the environment, as you stated previously, is one of ESG for most corporations. And so everybody's interested in doing something better for the environment, delivering food with a better technology that does not produce any carbon and that really is safe from a low voltage standpoint so that their people aren't at risk. I think the people component creates a lot of anxiety for the distribution centers because they've got their people focused on delivering food at the right price at the right time every single day. And that's what their focus is. So this new technology has to help them do that. What we've recently patented and done is created an AI automated platform to help them with issues like this in their daily operations. So they can take the people component out of it. When you talk about a partner that has done this day in and day out for a decade or more, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what we decided we had to do, was really get to embrace AI and get it involved to eliminate the human confusion, the anxiety factor of dealing with a new technology entering the realm. So we've made this technology now to the point to where it's so easy for the drivers and the warehouse people and the yard hustlers to use that they don't think about it anymore. It's just automatic. So it eliminates things like having to have a fueler that show up, fuel it. It's all automated. We've integrated the sun into the whole package. It's actually made it just absolutely perfect scenario because the sun is sitting there inside that automation, cooling their ice cream literally every day. And so our AI involves the solar, but also energy storage to help them to combine solar panels and energy storage to literally take their distribution facility off the grid if they want. So not only are we not loading the California grid, but we can actually save them a lot of money in grid costs by removing it off the grid and automating the whole process.
That's great. And you've made the financials work.
Financials are tricky. There's nothing cheap about lithium batteries. The state of California has jumped in and done a tremendous job cutting the costs in about half for implementing this technology. So the early adopters have really benefited this last couple of years, the next couple of years in that process. Moving forward, the regulations are starting to kick in Southern California, especially last year with the WARE program. We're able to really save the customer a tremendous amount of money. It doesn't cost low green anymore. With our product, you're in the green from day one. And we have partners like PLM that can jump in there and help and allow people to lease these products instead of having big capital upfront expenditures. And it really reduced their upfront costs and their risk in the program. So partners in this cold chain space is really important. And we're just really, really proud to have PLM as a partner in this.
It's great. I have to tell you, the other day I was talking to someone who's not even your customer yet, but they're servicing some of your trailers that have the Solar Tech TRU on them. And the reefer tech contacted me and was raving about the fact that it's so much cleaner, that he's not having to work around a lot of soot. And that always made him mad. And he said, I really appreciate the fact that even considering the circumstances that your team is training them, and we couldn't believe that you do your own work in the field, that you're out there and you're supporting everyone, and how easy it was compared to what they have been doing and working around soot of the diesel TRUs TRU. So I commend you for that. I had to throw that out there. I don't know if you even knew that story.
And that's great because when you're in the field and you're trying to make the product work, as we've done for 15 years now, to work on one of these diesel units is pretty smelly. I mean, let's face it, I don't like to bash the competition, but when you walk up to one of our electric systems and it's all clean and quiet, a reefer tech in particular that has to work his way through the diesel, the raw diesel, not to mention the exhaust every day and all the dirt that's a result of the exhaust, it's a new world order. It's just obvious. It's like the story of Edison and Ford. What if these TRUs had started out being electric and somebody would have walked up to you and said, "Hey, I've got this new idea for a diesel TRU." You would laugh them out of the office. You'd go, "Why would I do something like that?" Evolution is a very interesting concept.
That's an interesting way of putting it. You just reminded me too. He did mention how quiet it was, and that's a big deal in his workplace. I want to talk about the line items because someone's got to do soot removal and then there's electricity. So what are the main line items that just go away or that are significantly reduced when someone goes with the solar tech TRUs?
Well, it's significant elimination of diesel entirely. So you can take diesel right out of your budget. You can take now the fees that WARE program in Southern California is charging off your budget because we offset that. Plus, the numbers are staggering. The product really pays for itself in a couple of years, and that's unheard of in the green world. So not only do you get your employees safer, you eliminate the carbon that they're breathing in, you eliminate the noise factor, you have products being delivered with electricity cleanly at temperature. It's a win for the driver. It's a win for the warehouse people. It's a win corporation embracing it. And it's a win for us as consumers at the restaurants and grocery stores.
That's great. And it's single temp or multi-temp. You're matching the TRU to each trailer's mission. And they're low voltage DC. I would assume that's another line item that goes away, and not only the electricity bills, even if they don't have the microgrids, what does it do to the electricity line item and also regulations?
That's a really good point you bring up because the philosophy that we grabbed a hold of is really the forklift philosophy. Inside all the warehouses, there's 48 volt DC forklifts human beings have been interfacing with and using 24 hours a day. And there's never, ever been electrocution than one at 48 volts. So to embrace that for the trailer technology made tremendous sense for us. The electric cost is really offset with the low carbon fuel standard credits that everybody in California receives moving to electric. So there's zero cost going to the electric. And as I said, if you embrace our solar and energy storage side of it, not only are you saving all that money, but you're actually not loading the California grid as well, which everybody's concerned.
Absolutely. So earlier when you were talking about the zero emissions and eliminating range anxiety, which is a huge deal, and proving its performance and safety and going low voltage, you mentioned and more. What are some of the other things? Can you go into the microgrids you're building and what those look like and how that can affect a customer as well?
Sure. The customers can move into energy storage and solar panels for their warehouse, as well as not just the TRUs. It's interesting. The sites we've been in, the use of lithium batteries and the use of solar panels on our trailers has oftentimes made people think, well, I don't have any on my facility. I don't have any out in the yard. I don't have any out in the parking lot. I should be looking at solar maybe. If it'll work on a trailer, well, by golly, it'll work on my building. So we've moved into projects to where people open up their eyes and they go, wow, there's some real possibilities in capturing the sun on our building and our parking lot and really changing the environment.
I've seen your microgrids on the top of the transformer cabinet and the trailers. So is that a microgrid in itself? And if they want to really go nuts, they go up on the roof. Is that how it works?
That's exactly right. Exactly right. So, going nuts in a good way, right?
Yeah.
It's going nuts to really capture the sun, which is free and no moving parts. And it's something that's plentiful where you need it. Let's face it, when you need refrigeration, the sun's out. When the sun's not out, if you're up in Alaska or in Michigan where the sun's northern part of the U.S. where there's no sun out a lot, you don't need a lot of refrigeration up there. But when you move into a California climate, a Phoenix climate, a Florida climate, then you have a lot of sun and you have a lot of photons from the sun available to capture and create the energy for you. So it's what we call a perfect trifecta. You've got food, you've got refrigeration, you've got the sun involved. And the three go hand in hand, really supply the refrigeration that you.
I like you and Ron and your amazing team are just such a perfect long-term partner for your clients because you're innovators. And it seems to be a different flair of culture than what I've run into in the cold chain transportation space when it comes to the TRU. I don't want to say anything negative about the industry at all because you're all working together and it takes a village. But I just love your flair of innovation and how you're an innovation partner for your customers as well. So you're future proofing their choice of going with AM and the Solar Tech TRU. How does someone get in touch with you guys?
Website's the best way to do it. You can contact us through the website and move through the sales channel to get an applications engineer to come out to your facility. We're not a cookie cutter. Very few facilities result in a cookie cutter solution. We're a very agile organization, so we move quickly with our customers' requests. We're able to move quickly and very efficiently. We get people set up in very short order. I'd say the biggest slowdown is getting in our queue for our manufacturing line. Get your product queued up to get it in there when you want to get in there. We try to be as flexible as we can, but we still have to service our existing people.
That's a good point, that queue. So get on the website. It's a really amazing website too. So just go visit aem.green. Have fun. It'll guide you through what you should do first, second, and third. Robert, again, thank you so much. I'm so excited to connect with you, and I'll definitely be circling back for more. Thanks so much.
We appreciate you very much. Thanks.
Take care. Bye.